under barn lights, the Midway loves. Kids with cotton candy and sunburned noses. The Ferris wheel spins, slow and tall. You can hear the laughter from the tilt-a-whirl call. Families gathered, hand in hand, on this patch of Jackson County land. It's barn lights and fair nights, the smell of fresh hay, farm animals lined up, ribbons on display. The rumble of a tractor pull, engines roaring pride. Barn lights and fair nights where memories reside. A boy leads his calf, head held high, dreaming of that blue ribbon prize. The rodeo's wild, the cowboys hold tight, while the dumb old derby crashes into the night. The ice cream melts, but the smiles stay at the heart of a good old county fair day. It's barn lights and fair nights, the smell of fresh hay, echoes of laughter, ribbons on display. The rumble of a tractor pull, engines roaring pride. Barn lights and fair nights where hearts don't hurt. The ice cream melts, but the smiles stay at the heart of a good old county fair day. It's barn lights and fair nights, the carousel spins, echoes and laughter where the fun begins. Trucks pull hard, kicking up the dirt. Barn lights and fair nights where hearts don't hurt. Where hearts don't hurt.
I got the wrong embassy.
What do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean?
His
Paul?
dad. Yeah,
Oh.
his dad's Paul.
I tend to forget some names from year to year.
There's like four. Like there's Paul, Paul, and Paula.
There's so many Pauls.
Ooh, those are fancy glass.
Okay.
The judge already showed up. He was
I saw that. It was good to see. Let's put this down too. I'm just trying to make
Do you
this.
know what's the judge's name? You know?
I don't think he said.
Wait, am I silly? Should I just put this up top here too?
That's up to you.
Inside.
What do you?
No, just
What do you think is better? Putting that in the bottom or at top?
That thing?
It's a
Because there's like a
hand.
line.
It's a man hand, so it's big.
It's a
hand.
man hand.
I think like that.
Just take this loose cord.
One of these old guys over here came up to Paula and was like, "Hey, can you move bleachers so people can sit and watch?"
Yeah, I heard one of them left here weird. Rockies.
Oh, and then Maddie made these for all her bridesmaids. Her and her mother-in-law even like they took the paint off.
Trying to
There's like
fix
she
the
has a
good
cricket,
condition.
my mom's cricket, and so she made like a printed out to where like when my name was a collar, and then there's like a paint stripper thing you can use for like this, whatever like this covering is. Turned out pretty good actually. I don't like pink though.
The meal, you get a meal.
It's a nice pink.
It's a good pink.
Yeah, it's not like hot pink.
It's a good pink. If it was a brighter pink, I'd be like, nope.
That's sort of
They
good.
were colors for me.
I'm a big green fan. A nice
Green's
green.
good. Sage is pretty. I like hunter green too. Green is probably my second favorite. Does this go to the barn too?
I believe so. Yeah. I never thought about that.
You're lost?
But I know they have it because the lady from the fair office.
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah, give us
I wasn't.
This.
They uncertified me.
So,
They didn't recertify me.
Yeah.
Then I called in and recertified me.
Okay.
So,
Whatever.
it wasn't the lady that was doing it at your fair office.
You want to go now?
Okay,
She has it. Yeah, it is Marla. She has it. She has it. She has brand new fancy cards.
Yeah.
And everything else. Put in my wallet's in the center console of my truck, and my daughter's on the way to State Fair with some pigs right now.
You guys get to check in early? Oh, big.
Tomorrow it's
So,
Junior Guild Show.
We try at the same time as
Junior Guild Show's tomorrow. I'm in the bag of classes Friday. And then they come home. And then the open show, people come in for Saturday, Sunday, and then everybody comes back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so I don't even have my wallet on. She knows I'm certified because we were in contract about 4 years ago. Certified for that. Yeah, it's good.
yeah, we get to be here at like
Yeah, good line. Yep. Now, they get in at 5 o'clock tonight. It's snow and it's not even Junior Guild. So, all right, what is our order today? Do you know our order?
Yep.
What are we
So
starting with?
I'm kind of like I said, first year everything's up. So I will go in for okay.
Sure.
So open class, we're gonna do spring new lambs championship, and we'll do winter new lambs championship, and then you can pick the best one. And then we'll do the ram, and then there's one feeder lamb, one ram, one feeder lamb, and then feeder.
Sure.
Then we'll go into junior fair, kind of the same thing, and do the youth classes first, then we'll do the ram classes, and the champion drive there, and then we'll go into market classes, and then red and own them. Okay, and then we'll do a youth pick sales selection. How many do we have? Remember 20, 24? 24.
24
Yeah.
slot? No, there's 24 total.
24 times. Yep.
There's more than 24 lanes.
Then how do we talk about
That sounds good.
it is, but the kids are plus 15 to 42 so that's what it is.
If they don't get a lane, then they get a steer.
Correct. Yep. Oh yeah. So I one and then two of Thank you for finding that. Yep.
And then just one request with the microphone. Just kind of like give me like 2 seconds before you start talking to unmute the mic.
Sure.
Live streaming it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You're good.
Awesome. Gotta find Paula. We need to find Paula.
Follow us here.
All right, so everybody in the barn knows that I'm here and they're ready to go at 3.
What time is it? 2:50. Oh yeah, I lost my phone.
She's really organized. She just goes a mile a minute all the
We're
time.
good. We're good.
She's great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go this way up there.
Yeah.
It's like a wind up now.
Hop in there when I'm ready to go. They'll come in there.
Yep, they'll come in here and then. Okay. Oh, no minute. No, just
That's junior class. So maybe it's behind.
You're just going to bring them in and line them up like that.
Yes.
What I'll probably do is have them lined up. I'll handle them. Then I'll have them pull out the profile. And then I'll just select them.
Definitely should.
Be your target and wake up.
Under barn lights, the midway lows, kids with cotton candy, and sunburned noses. The Ferris wheel spins, slow and tall. You can hear the laughter from the tilt-a-whirl call. Families gathered, hand in hand, on this patch of Jackson County land. It's barn lights and fair nights, the smell of fresh hay, farm animals lined up, ribbons on display. The rumble of a tractor pull, engines roaring pride. Barn lights and fair nights where memories reside. A boy leads his calf, head held high, dreaming of that blue ribbon prize. The rodeo's wild, the cowboys hold tight, while the dumb old derby crashes into the night. The ice cream melts, but the smiles stay at the heart of a good old county fair day. It's barn lights and fair nights, the smell of fresh hay, echoes of laughter, ribbons on display. The rumble of a tractor pull, engines roaring pride. Barn lights and fair nights where hearts don't hurt. cream melts, but the smiles stay at the heart of a good old county fair day. It's barn lights and fair nights, the carousel spins, echoes and laughter where the fun begins. Trucks pull hard, kicking up the dirt, barn lights and fair nights where hearts don't hurt, where hearts don't hurt.
To the 2025 Jackson County Fair. We will be starting our sheep show with our open class. Our first class coming into our ring will be our South Down Spring ewe lambs. There are 2 exhibitors. He's going to say it himself. He's going to say it himself.
Sure. Well, good afternoon. Hopefully everybody can hear that. My name is Todd Cherney, and we're going to start here pretty quickly. I'm going to be tonight's judge. I said I'd easier to introduce myself, so that's why I'm doing this right now. I'm a retired ag teacher of 35 years in Reedsburg, Wisconsin. During that time, I was the ag teacher and FFA advisor. I was the head wrestling coach for 15 years during that 35 years. My wife and I, Sarah, have 2 daughters, Trina and Sydney, 21 and 19. We run a 155-acre hobby farm. We farrow out 20 to 25 show pig mamas each year. A number of years we did lamb out some ewe lambs, and then decided that we needed to focus on one high-end project. So we deal now with our lambs with Impact Hamps, Brian and Kelvin Riley out of Sholesburg, Wisconsin. So it's been fun. I really take this to heart, being a teacher and a father of kids that have really put their heart and soul into these projects. So here we go. We're going to start with Class 1 in the open show here. Thank you for having me.
Down Spring ewe lambs.
Okay, in our first class here of spring ewe lambs, I'm going to elect to start with the young lady that's in the front right now. When they both walk in, they're both structurally sound, and I'm going to talk about that a lot tonight as we go through the show. Animals got to have good feet and legs. They got to be good on the move, and both of these are. What separates these two, in my estimation, is projecting them as they grow and mature. The young lady that's going to start the class, her lamb is taller at the point of the shoulder. He's a rib longer bodied. Okay, and I like that about her. She's longer through her head and neck. She's a little more feminine in my estimation than the ewe lamb that's in second. The ewe lamb that's in second's got the one in first on rib and body and center dimension. There's no doubt. I'd like to see her taller at the shoulder. I'd like to see her a little bit bigger in her kind, for my estimation. But 2 very good ewe lambs to start out tonight's show. Congratulations to both these young ladies. touch anything. Like I'm not gonna turn anything off or on, okay?
Okay.
I'll just leave it and so
Perfect.
don't swear in there when I hand it to you.
Congratulations to Lacey Graham on a first blue. Congratulations to Anelica Burnett on a second blue. Now entering the arena will be our commercial meat breed Spring Ewe Lambs. There are 3 entries.
Where would you guys like this?
That is a loaded. I didn't know if I was supposed to keep going.
Okay, and our spring ewe lambs here. I'm going to elect to use the young man that was a little late to the party. He's doing good though with his ewe lamb. Obviously, there's a little more age and a little more maturity here in comparison to the other two in the particular class, but she still deserves to win this class. She's tall at the point of the shoulders. She's good down her rack. She's heavy structured, which means she has big bones and big footed. I like the way she moves out. I thought she logically won this particular class. Then between second and third, what separated these two for me anyway was just the centered body and dimension and rib shape of this young lady's lamb that's in second. You really have to admire for that. I guess when you get down over to her top and you view her from the top, you'd like to square her up a little bit in comparison to what our top individual was in this particular class. Young man's got a really, really fancy March ewe lamb here in third place, and honestly, if you come back and you put this class together in 2 months, I wouldn't doubt at all that she could win this particular class. Today, she's just really green into maturity, and she just needs some more time on feed to rival the two right above her. Congratulations to these 3 young people.
Congratulations to Dawson Bush with a first blue, Adeline Wood with a second blue, and Felix Forsting with a first red. We will now be selecting our Spring Ewe Lamb champion. Go. I'm busy.
Need anything, Brandon?
Nope, I am all good. I'm gonna need a shield for when she slaps me. Yeah, because to make her angry, she's gonna hit me on accident.
Commercial. That one? Dorset's and commercials. Or South Downs and commercials. All right, in our open class, this is for our champion spring ewe lambs, and we have commercial ewes right here with these two young people, and we have the South Downs with these two young people, and they were first and second in their respective class if you just showed up here. And so there's some comparisons within breeds and cross breeds here. And when I judge these things here, I think what I usually do is pick, in my mind, for that breed, where does that line up with what I've seen in the past at other shows or my experiences with my kids and the lambs that we raise, what would be competitive at the next level. And so what I'm going to do is the young man right here with the commercial ewe is going to be your champion open show spring ewe, and this young lady here is going to be your reserve. Congratulations to both of you.
Congratulations to Dawson Bush with the grand champion spring ewe lamb. Reserve champion goes to Lacey Graham. Now entering the arena will be our winter ewe lambs. We will be starting with the commercial meat breed.
Yes.
Winter commercial ewe lambs, and we have 2 entries by these young ladies. And I'm going to elect to use the bigger, more powerful ewe lamb here to win this particular class. I think she just kind of overwhelms the competition in this class, especially when you get down over top and you start handling this ewe. Got plenty enough shape, and she's really good in her rack shape and got center dimension and body, and yet she's still elegant enough to look like a lady in this particular class. I think she wins the class. Young lady in second with the natural colored ewe lamb. Really loves some parts and pieces of this one. She's really elegant up front through her front 1/3. She just needs to have more center dimension and body to her, and maybe she'll get that with some maturity as she stays days on feed. But 2 very good ewe lambs in this fall winter division.
Congratulations to Brody Brown with a first blue and Adeline Wood with a second blue. Now entering the arena will be our weather type winter ewe lambs. There are 2 entries.
Weather type 2.
Yep.
Well, no doubt there's two really green winter type ewe lambs out here. And what I mean by that is that just they're young and immature and they're really raw and they need some time more on feed. And so you got to kind of put your priorities where you want them a little bit. And I'm going to like to start with the young man's natural colored lamb. There's sure some things you'd like to change about her. She needs to relax in her spine. She needs to have some more center body to her. But the things I do like about her, she's really tall fronted and she's extended and elegant through that front third of her body. And I think as she matures and she gets some center body, she's going to be the better one of the two in my estimation. Young lady in second, for sure at this stage of the game, her ewe lamb has more center body and depth of rib than our top individual, and you can argue with that, and I would agree with you there. I thought she was a little finer boned, a little smaller footed to go with that little bit undersized package as far as length of body goes in comparison to the young lamb that beat her in class. Congratulations to these two young people.
Congratulations to Jackson Mann with a first blue and Anna Mann with a second blue. We will now be selecting our Grand and Reserve Winter ewe lamb.
Well, we're showing for our champion winter ewe lambs here right now, and we have the four representatives out here. And I'm going to use the young lady right in front of me as our champion. Obviously, she's a little more advanced in her maturity and the stage of the game of where she's at, but she, in my estimation, is still the best one. She's really raw down her top, and she's got some width and dimension there. Her hip and hind leg is square to the ground. She's got a good set of feet and legs in her. I think she overwhelms the competition in this particular drive. Then it comes down to my second place in that division, or my young man here with the first place in the second class of lambs. And there's some give and take there, I'm not going to lie. And sometimes when this young man gets this lamb propped up and her spine drops down in her, the silhouette is undeniable in my estimation. And I'd like to see this ewe lamb in another 30 to 45 days. Where she lacks, though, is just the maturity on the one that's in second over there as far as rib and center body and just overall width and power down his top at this stage of the game. So it's a flip of the coin in my estimation, but I'm going to use the young lady over there as your reserve champion. Congratulations to both of you.
Congratulations to Brody Brown with the Grand Champion Winter ewe lamb. Reserve champion goes to Adeline Wood. We will now be selecting our Grand and Reserve Open Class ewe lamb. Breeding stock. I need
All right, so right now we're doing champion open show ewe lambs. And we have our spring ewe lambs, Grand and Reserve right there. And we have our winter ewe lambs, Grand and Reserve right here. And so I have to pick a champion overall is what I'm doing right now for those of you that are watching at ringside. And obviously when you start, I had him on the walk. I mentioned earlier today that, when we get through some of this stuff tonight, structural correctness is going to be a deciding factor in some placings. And that's what I really wanted to see. And to me, it's undeniable that there's one that can get out freer and easier in my estimation. And because of that, even though she's not the biggest one, she's going to be your champion. So the young man here is going to be your champion, you, and then the big stout winner, you, is going to be your reserve champion. Congratulations to both of you.
Congratulations to Dawson Bush with the overall champion U. Reserve champion U goes to Brody Brown. Now entering the ring will be our Ram class. We have one entry, and it is a commercial meat breed spring ram.
The only ram of the show, huh?
Yes.
All right, now we have the Ram Lamb division, and this is the only ram entered at the fair, okay? Open class, only ram. Sorry. Okay, so he's our only open class, and so I wish he had a little more competition. His name is Tater Tot, okay? So we found that out, and again, there's some parts and pieces to this lamb that are really nice. I think as he matures and grows into himself, it'll be interesting to see what he looks like in another 40, 50 pounds. But the young man does a nice job of propping him up. I really like his head and neck. I like his height at the point of his shoulder. He's got a good set of feet and legs on him. Congratulations, young man.
Congratulations to Ty Castle with the champion ram. Now entering the arena will be our feeder lambs.
This young lady has the only entry in the open show in the market lamb division, 122-pound market lamb that I wish we had a little more competition for her. There's some things you really like about this lamb. It's obviously a growthy-looking lamb that has some width and dimension and some body and center dimension to him. Again, I wish we had a little competition for her because it's a very nice market lamb. Congratulations to this young lady.
Congratulations to Morgan Rosvold with a first blue market class Lamb. She will also be receiving the champion
What do we have coming? follow along. This is our Pee Wee Showmanship for tonight, and there's 10 entries out here. And I do have to pick a champion. We're just picking a champion, and then all other 9 of these young people will be recognized with a little goodie bag by all of our Ferris's Affairs here. Thank you, ladies, or your different attendants here. Thank you. Obviously these kids are very young. When they're this young, you're looking for some eye contact. I know I'm a big, scary guy, so some people look down in a way when you're not very old. And then, just how they handle that lamb. I asked them all a couple questions. Nothing hard. The name of their sheep, maybe the birth date, maybe if it was a boy or a girl, those type of things. And so we try to have some fun doing this. It's a learning experience. And then as you move on through the junior show years, you continue to progress and get better. And so my champion today is no doubt one intense individual. She almost scares me sometimes. But you can tell that she's been around the lamb before. She knows how to handle them, and she sure came to win today. Your champion is going to be the young lady right here. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Brody Brown receiving the Grand Champion Pee Wee Showman. Also in this class receiving a blue ribbon is Ty Castle, Felix Forstein, Adeline Wood, Jackson Mann, Anna Mann, Dawson Bush, Anelica Burnett, Lacey Graham, and Morgan Roswell. We will now be starting our junior show breeding stock. Okay. Now, our first class of breeding stock will be our Hampshire Spring Ewe Lambs. There is 1 entry.
Starting our junior show here, and we're starting with our spring Hampshire ewe lambs, and this young lady brings out a really good one. I honestly, this lamb has some far-reaching pieces as far as bone and foot size and structure. She's elegant up front, and she looks like a lady, and when she gets her propped up from the side, she has a really nice silhouette to her. She does a great job of showing this lamb. You can tell that she's worked with this particular ewe lamb a number of times and throughout the summer at some shows and stuff. Too bad she didn't have some competition because she could definitely take it. Congratulations, young lady, on your ewe lamb.
Congratulations, Alyssa Lindo with a first blue. Now entering the arena will be our Any Other Meat Breed Spring Ewe Lambs. There is 1 entry.
Again, one single entry in our Hampshire winter ewe lambs, and this young lady does a nice job of propping up this particular ewe lamb. There's a lot of nice pieces to this one also. She is tremendously big backed and big racked. There's no doubt about it. I guess if I had to change her a skosh, I'd like to lengthen out her head and neck a bit. And she might be getting a little over-conditioned for my liking at this stage of the game, being in December. But that's being very critical of a pretty good one. Congratulations, young lady, on your winter ewe lamb.
Congratulations to Morgan Lindo on a first blue. Can I go to any other meet?
So what
Any other meet breed spring ewe lambs? There is one entry. Any other meat breed spring ewe lambs?
Yeah, that's a mouthful. Any other meat breed spring ewe lamb is what we have in front of us. Again, a single entry. And this young lady does a nice job of presenting this one to us. Again, probably in comparison to some of the other ones we've seen tonight, we'd like to give her a shot more top shape, especially down the lower third of her leg as you viewer going away from you. But a nice one as far as being a ewe lamb and being elegant in her type and kind. Very good one here in this position. Thank you for bringing this one out to us, young lady.
Congratulations to Josie Wood on a first blue. Now entering the arena will be our commercial meat breed, a spring ewe lamb.
Commercial meat breed spring ewe lambs is what we have in front of us, and we actually have 3 of them in this division. That's very nice to see because we have some competition, and yet the young lady that's going to start this class kind of overwhelms the class in a lot of areas, bone and foot size, and just when you get the raw power over its top and in through its rack and down into its hip, I think she kind of excels the class. I think sometimes when you're at a county fair and a judge gets on a microphone and says, "That's an easy winner," sometimes people feel like, oh, you're discrediting the young person that's in second or third. And that's, if I say things like that tonight, that is not my intention whatsoever. I just feel like the young lady in first just excels the class. She's done an excellent job. And sometimes, in fear of recognizing people, we don't. Okay, we just let things ride. And so I thought she excelled the class on this particular division. Then it got close between second and third. There's some differences in age and maturity. I just thought the lamb in second, again, was a little bit longer bodied. I think when she matures, she's going to be a bigger ewe lamb. She's going to be a little more elegant as far as her front 1/3 is as the young lady that's in third. Young lady in third, I just thought we need to give her a shot more bone and foot size. She's a little frailer in comparison to the one right above her, and for sure the one that won this class. If we can do something there, we could probably move her up in the class. Congratulations to these 3 young people.
Next is Winter Ewe Lambs commercial meat breed. I'll get better, I promise.
Well, I'm the problem. I'm trying to remember all that.
Congratulations to Macy Casper with a first blue. Your second blue goes to Annette Streff, and a first red to Aubrey Forsting. Coming into the arena now will be our commercial meat breed Winter Ewe Lambs.
This is when county fairs start to get fun, when kids start bringing out classes of that are 4 or 5 deep, and you have to, as a judge, make some decisions on what you like and what you prioritize in a particular ewe lamb. And the young lady with the natural color is my type. I mean, she's my speed. I really like this sheep from the profile. When she gets her propped up, to me, that's what a lady should look like as far as a ewe lamb goes. And then the best thing about her, in my estimation, where she excels the class, is when you put her in motion. When she goes, you know, some of you cattle people and steer people, you know, talking about hitting your cattle's hitting their holes when they're walking. She hits them. She goes. She strides out. She's got some flexibility to her feet and legs. I just think she puts a lot of really good things together. I'm sure that the lamb in second, you know, at jackpot shows may has beaten her a few times here and there because she's got some far-reaching pieces also. She's really big back. She's bigger back than the lamb that's right ahead of her. She's heavy structured as far as her feet and legs go. To me, I think she's a little more pinched right in that top of that hip than my individual in top, and I thought she was a little shorter strided than the individual I elected to use in the class, but that's being super critical of a really good one. Young lady does an excellent job of propping that one up. My problem was this young lady here in third, because obviously when you're raising livestock, you want to reward growth and production, and this ewe lamb obviously has gone out and grown. I don't know the differences in age in some of these, but yet in comparison to the two that are above her in class, she's not as heavy structured for as being as big a sheep she is as the two right ahead of her, and she's a little bit bigger in her chest floor already at this stage of maturity than maybe those two lambs right ahead of her. But again, you take this one back and breed her to any of those club lamb rams, and I think you got a heck of a project going on there. Young lady in fourth, I had you third. I had you fourth. Okay, another really good sheep. And like I said, I love judging county fairs when we start getting classes where the fifth place sheep is a really good market lamb or a ewe, whatever class you're in. This young lady is just not as descript over her top shape. Not as hard and crisp to the handle as maybe not as well presented as some of the ones right ahead of her, but she does a very nice job of showing that sheep. Young man has a very well presented sheep here in fifth. He just ran out of gas as far as size and structure in comparison to the lambs. You like to make her a little taller fronted. You like to, maybe she's putting on a little more condition at this stage of maturity for being a young ewe lamb, but a very good one in fifth place. Congratulations to everyone.
Congratulations to Macy Casper with a first blue. Your second blue goes to Brenna Thorson, Morgan Berg with the first red, Annette Streff with a second red, and Aiden Stetzer with the first white. Now entering the arena will be our commercial meat breed fall ewe lamb. There is one entry. Yes, Sarah. What are
All right, young lady has a single entry here again, and we sure wish we had some competition for a ewe lamb that you really admire for the power and the width and dimension that she has right down her top and all the way down into her hip. She's heavy in her structure, and she's big in her foot size. Young lady does a very nice job of presenting this one to us. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Macy Casper with a first blue. Now under arena will be our commercial meat breed yearling ewe lamb. After the conclusion of this class, we will be selecting our Grand and Reserve commercial meat breed ewe lamb.
One single entry here in our yearling ewes, and this young lady does a nice job. And this is a very nice yearling ewe. And if you really study this one, her front foot might be the biggest front foot I've seen in a sheep all night tonight. She's got some pieces to her, and I was talking to the young lady, and she's going to take them and get her artificially inseminated. And I said that would be kind of cool to see what she mated her to and what she produces, because again, a very nice yearling here that has really some far-reaching pieces in some estimations, and especially that front foot and front leg in comparison to some of the other ones I've seen tonight. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Morgan Lindo with our first blue. We will now be selecting our Grand and Reserve commercial meat breed ewe.
champion commercial
This is our champion commercial U championship drive. Let's give these kids a big round of applause, please. For sure, for sure. I don't judge a lot of sheep shows, but I go to a lot of them. Does that make any sense? And my kids show them, and so we're around these things, and we work with the Riley family quite a bit in their AI and ET program, and so I get around some pretty good sheep. And yet, when I come to the Jackson County Fair here, and we're out here in the championship drive of the commercial ewes, this is about as good as it gets in some places. Like really, there's some high quality out here, and different people could land their priorities on different things. But I think there's one out here, in my estimation, that kind of excels the competition. And then I could have went a little bit different way. Depends on where your priorities are. Young lady's going to be your champion right here. Congratulations. The natural's going to be your reserve. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Macy Casper with her Grand Champion commercial meat breed. The Grand Champion came out of the Fall Ewe Lamb class. Also, congratulations to Macy Casper with the Reserve commercial meat breed ewe. That lamb came out of the Winter Ewe Lamb class. Now, Winter Ewe Lamb.
Well, in this particular class, there's some give and take between my top two individuals, and I'll explain them a little bit. My young lady that's going to win the class, just a powerful, powerful sheep. You get down over the top of this one and then through her hip, and she just reads power, and she handles power, and she's hard to the touch. She's got good bone to her and good foot size to her. I guess if I had to criticize this one, I'd like to elevate her front, and she's a little straight in that hock. When she gets off, I'd like to have some more give and gush and bend to that rear leg, if you will, to make her ideal in my estimation. The lamb in second has more of that, I guess, if you will, and she is a little taller fronted, but she's a little more nondescript. Right when you get back behind her, She kind of closes up in the bottom third of her body in comparison to our top individual. But you like how tall fronted she is. You like how agile she is on the move. The young lady's got a really nice one here in the third also. This slam here just got overwhelmed as far as power and size and scale in this particular class. Again, when you bring some of these back as they mature, I wouldn't doubt that she could rival our class winner in a month or two as far as how she matures out and grows. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Nora Bush with a first blue, Aiden Stetzer with a second blue, and Amara Streff with a first red. Now entering the arena will be our weather type yearling U.
Really nice single entry here this young lady brings to us, and she does a nice job of propping that thing up. Kind of a no-holes type of sheep, I guess, if you will. She doesn't wow you anywhere, but she doesn't really have any glaring deficiencies or holes. And so we were talking about her getting AI'd or possibly natural breeding in this one, and I think she could have some really nice lambs for this young lady. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Alyssa Lindo with a first blue. We will now be selecting our grand champion and reserve champion weather type U lamb.
Oh my gosh.
Well, in our champion weather type here, we have the first and second in class there, and then the young lady with the yearling here. And I got to pick a grand reserve, and I'm going to go with the two younger lambs down there. Young lady, you're going to be champion. Young man, you're going to be reserve.
Congratulations to Nora Bush with your grand champion weather ewe lamb. The reserve will go to Aiden Stetzer. We will now be selecting our overall champion ewe. Nope.
So the girls back here are getting a bunch of banners together. So this is for your grand champion, junior show ULAM of the entire show. And so there's a bunch of awards coming out here, and I have to pick the grand and reserve champion out of these ULAMs and the different groups that they represent. And most of you've been around ringside and watched. And I guess if I'm not a very good poker player, but I play my cards pretty open. And there's a couple of them out here that I really dug when they were in their particular division and particular class. And that is nothing against anything else that's not going to be your grand and reserve, because there's a lot of good ULAMs out here. And you guys should be very proud in this county of what you guys brought out tonight. But I'm going to go shake my hand of my grand and reserve champion.
Congratulations to Macy Casper, exhibiting this year's overall Grand and Reserve breeding ewe lamb. Her lambs came out of the commercial meat breed. We will now be bringing in our ram classes. Our first class will be a commercial meat breed spring ram.
Are coming out, and we have a yearling ram, and young lady said that he's been out with some ewe lambs already right now, so he's kind of in his working clothes, and you can tell that, and that's a good thing. That means he's out and he's doing his job. There's some really nice things about this particular buck that I like. Again, really powerful front leg on this one, up through his shoulder and into his head and neck. He just reads power, and like I said, even though he's melted down a little bit from running with some ewes, you can just tell what he's got going there. So congratulations, young lady. A very nice ram lamb.
Congratulations to Morgan Lindo with her first blue commercial meat breed yearling ram.
In our ram lamb division and the weather types, and this young lady brings a really nice one out here. There's some things you really like about this guy here, and again, he's been around some ewes that have been in estrus, and so he's acting like a boy, so he's lost some of his condition, but you can just tell the way he's structurally, he's tall fronted, he's really elevated through that front third, and yet when you get behind him, he's got a lot of power through that hip and hind leg and carries it down into the lower third of that leg. I really like this one, and in some areas, congratulations to this young lady.
Congratulations to Amara Streff with her first blue. We will now be selecting our overall and reserve breeding
Well, for our champion Ram, this might be one of the closest decisions I've had to make all night long, because there's something I like about both of them in their respective age and division. And so you got to kind of like pick and choose. And I hate to give a champion and reserve, because like I said, I think they're both equally deserving in their own right, in their own division. But I'm going to go with the young lady with the youthful one up front right now. I just really like this one. When he gets propped up from the side, he runs uphill, and yet when you get your hands on him, he's got some width and dimension and shape, and he carries it down into a big old hip, even though he's been kind of ranting around some ewe lambs a little bit. I thought that he needed to be champion. Young lady, I really like this mature buck. Huge in his front foot and his structure, and you can tell that he's been doing what he's supposed to do. You can flip those two around, but you're going to be my reserve today. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Amara Streff with the overall grand champion ram. The reserve will go to Morgan Lindow. I would like to take a second to thank those that have sponsored the banners. The Grand Champion U banner was sponsored by Jackson Electric Cooperative. They also sponsored the Reserve Grand Champion U lamb.
How many classes of market lambs are there?
7.
7?
Our Grand Champion Ram banner was sponsored by Northwood Vet Service, and the Reserve Grand Champion Ram banner was sponsored by Casper Farms. Are we taking a break to spray down the? Yes.
7.5 minutes.
7.5.
Per Sarah, it is going to be 7.5 minutes, little break, so we can spray down the arena. Lightweight A lambs, please get ready to bring your lambs ringside.
Like the first class.
begin our market sheep show. Our first class is lightweight A. These lambs range from 90 pounds to 109. There are 4 entries.
Half-minute break there to try to get some of this dust knocked down. And we have our first class of market lambs for tonight. And in most county fairs, when you go to the sheep show or the swine show or the beef show, the market class, because there's a meat animal sale that's involved with it. And, people are trying to make the meat animal sale, so it's always kind of a big deal. And Jackson County elects to kind of end with that, and then showmanship, the two big highlights in most people's minds at the county fair. This is our Class 1 market lambs, and these are lambs that didn't make the 110-pound requirement. You got to be 110 pounds at Jackson County to make the meat animal sale, so they were a skosh light. But yet there's 4 of them, and when I line up this class, there's one that's undeniably that wins this class, the young lady with the natural colored lamb. She said she was like 4 pounds off. It doesn't make a difference what she weighs in this particular class, but when you get your hands on this one, there's no doubt she has the most width and expression through that top and then through her rack and down into her hip. She kind of excels the class in a market division, if you ask me. Young lady in second, her lamb no doubt is a longer body, longer rib type of individual. She just ran out of the center body and center dimension, and when you get your hands on this one, not quite as powerful as the young lady ahead of her. That was the deciding factor in those 2. Then I got 2 sheep. You can flip a coin here in third and fourth. Just really raw and nondescript as far as their muscle shape goes for these young people. I'd like to see these lambs about 40 pounds heavier and see how they mature into that muscle and into their maturity pattern. But very good sheep to start out our class today. Congratulations.
Nice job. Nice job.
Congratulations to Piper Nelson with a first blue, Annette Streff with a second blue, Aubrey Forsting with a first red, and Nora Bush with a second red. Now entering the arena will be our lightweight B lambs. These lambs range from 111 pounds to 117.
lambs ranging from 111 to 117 pounds. So we're still, in some people's estimation, a little bit on the light side, and as far as a market lamb goes. But in the show lamb or club tail lamb world, I guess some people don't really mind what they weigh. But I guess I'm going to try to keep a combination sheep together tonight, in my estimation. And the young lady at this, when I'm trying to project them to go on to 130 pounds, there's no doubt that she wins this class in my estimation. She's really tall-fronted. When you get your hands on this lamb, she's rock hard. I mean rock hard. She's done a nice job of feeding this lamb and presenting it at this particular weight. I don't know if it's, at 110, 11, 12, whatever, 116, what do you weigh? 117 pounds, I just think this is a really good sheep. Heavier in her structure, heavier in her foot size, runs uphill, plenty enough power and shape. What really I struggled with was between second and third, because these two sheep are not smaller in their overall design and type and kind. And then I had to decide which one could go on to a farther weight. And I thought the lamb in second was a little leaner, especially when he got over right behind that shoulder in the lower 1/3 of their body. And when you project these 110, 12 pound lambs to 125, 30, 35 and on, I thought the lamb in second is going to hang a carcass that's going to have a higher percent muscle to it as when we're all said and done. Otherwise, very well presented lamb here in third. Young lady does an excellent job of presenting this lamb and propping this one up. A little shorter in his head and neck, not quite as extended in the front third as I'd like to see. Maybe carrying a little more condition in relationship to my top two individuals in this lighter class, but a very good lamb to be in third. A lot of county fairs, you win your class easily that have been around. Then the next four sheep, in comparison to my top three individuals, when you get your hands on them, not as much width and dimension to their top. Young lady probably had the next most amount of muscle, carrying a little more condition at this lightweight. Young lady that's in next, just in super, super raw sheep. I like to see that lamb in another 35, 40 days and see what it matures into, because it's got muscle and shape, just super, super raw right now. We just need to give her some more of the groceries, if you speak. Young man next, very well presented lamb, skin and hair coat's good, a little softer handling to the touch. And then the young man that rounds out the class, just the lightest muscle weather in this particular class. Congratulations to all the Class 2 participants.
Congratulations to Morgan Lindo with the first blue, Alyssa Lindo receiving the second blue, Taylor Laufenberg with the first red, Mara Strepp with the second red, Aubrey Forstein with the first white, Chase Campen with the second white, and Louis Burnett with the first pink. Now entering the arena will be our medium weight A lambs. These lambs range from 120 pounds to 122. Seven.
In our third class of market lambs, a little bit of a challenge, if you will, to line these up. We have a lot of different types and kinds, and then you got to sit down and prioritize where you want to be on this whole deal. And I've elected to use the young lady with I call the sheep of the group. She's very well presented. He's right in his condition as far as a middleweight lamb, I guess, if you will. She's put in the work on the feet and legs as far as the presentation goes. I just thought she kind of deserved to win this class because she has the most of the best in certain areas and just kind of excelled in those areas. I really like, and I struggle for a little bit with this young man, lamb in second. I really like this one in some pieces. He's really elevated in his front third. He's really raw down his top and expressive. When he gets on the move, he tries to get outside himself. His hock bows a little bit for my liking, if you will. But that's a very good sheep to be in second. Totally different type and kind than the one that I elected to use in the class. I elected to go with kind of a show sheep that was a little more better, was better in his structure to win the class. Third and fourth are very similar here. Lambs that are very well presented, just kind of meat and potatoes type of market lambs. Not extremely expressive down their tops, but good in their muscle pattern. Not extremely lean, but not, you can't call them fat at this stage of the game. I elected to use the bigger frame, longer bodied lamb here to be in third. I thought he was a little heavier in his structure to go with it. Young lady here next, a little more nondescript as far as the muscle pattern goes in fourth. That's why she landed there. Then the next three, this young lady's lamb here. When you get behind this one, it just needs to have more pop, more width and dimension. You need to spread that hip and hind leg out a little bit and flatten it out and give her some more shape down her top. The ewe lamb that comes in next, again, maybe putting on a little more condition at this lightweight. Same with the young lady that rounds out with this natural colored lamb. Very nice class 3 of market lambs. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Taylor Laufenberg with a first blue. Your second blue goes to Chase Campen. Clayton Castle with a first red. Morgan Berg with a second red. Sadie Brown with a first white. Gage Castle with a second white. And Ella Rosfold with a first pink. Now entering the arena will be our medium weight B lambs. There are 6 lambs in this class and they range from 123 to 130 pounds. Does that sound better?
Oh, another nice class of market lambs. And I don't say there's a perfect one out here, so you had to pick your priorities. And that's why I stepped off the sheep for a while and just took a look at them on the profile and which one propped up and looked like, a show sheep should look like. And the young man with the natural color, he wins this class. And I'd be the first to admit he's not perfect, okay? But he is the most expressive. He's the hardest handling to the touch. He's the biggest in his loin and in his rack in this particular class. Where I'd like to change this one is when he moves. Okay, he's too straight in his hock. He's a little pinched in the top of that hip area up there. He needs to flatten out, level out when he moves. And I'm a stickler. If you go to county fairs and my daughters were showing back in the day, and when they would get beat by one that I thought was unsound, I'd be the first person to be very mad about it because we build our livestock from the ground up. And so when I go judge shows and my daughters come with me sometime and I pick one that's skeptical on its feet and legs, I get ridden all the way home. So thank God they're on their way to the state fair tonight and they're not here critiquing me all the way home tonight. Young man, a very nice sheep. I'd just like to change it structurally. Young man in second. I like this lamb. I just didn't see it as expressive, not as hard handling to the touch, not as much width and dimension on that top and rack shape as my individual in first, but a very nice sheep in second. Young lady in third, I just need to have some more flank and body and center dimension. I really like the elegance of this market ewe, tall fronted, really elegant up through her front end. I just have to have some more center body rib shape to her. I think when she gets to heavier weights, she's even going to be better when she might get to 150, 60 even in some of these market classes. Young lady next, a lamb that just needs some more muscle. Kind of the reoccurring theme of the last three here. When you get behind them, not as much muscle, especially in the lower third of that leg. When you get over their top and you handle these sheep, they don't have as much width and sheer power to their loin and their hip and hind leg as the three individuals that were right ahead of them in class. But very good sheep. Congratulations to all these young people.
Congratulations to Jay Stetzer with the first blue, Clayton Castle with the second blue, Amara Streff with the first red, Morgan Berg with the second red, Josie Wood with the first white, and Lyric Rosvold with the second white. Yes, there is. Yeah. Now entering will be our medium weight sea lambs. These lambs are ranging from 131 pounds to 136. There are 7 lambs. 131 to 136, and there's 7.
Okay.
another challenging class here, and we got some different types and kinds, and you got to kind of go with your priorities. And this young lady, when she gets this one propped up and he's pushing, okay, he's expressive, and he has the most muscle, true muscle, down his top and in through his hip. There's no doubt of the top three. And then when you get in front of him, he's tucked up in his chest floor the most of the top three. Okay, and on the move, he has plenty enough structure. He's got good give and go to his rear two. I just thought the more you evaluated it and start picking him apart, he had the least amount of things that I could criticize him on, and I thought he needed to win this class. It was a little closer between second and third for me, but when you get into evaluating those two, I just think that the lamb in second's pulled apart through his center portion of his body. When you get in front of him and all the way back to the rear view of this lamb, he just kind of shows you power. The lamb in second, he kind of narrows up, and he's a little softer in his chest floor already at this 135, 137 pound weight. But this young man does a nice job of really presenting this sheep. Skin and hair coat, feet and legs. He does a nice job of showing it. I just wish that animal had a little more sheer power and width and dimension to him in comparison to the top two on this particular class. Then we get the rest of the sheep in the class all the way down the line are kind of similar in type of kind if you kind of start evaluating them. They're a little lighter in their muscle pattern, and they're a little heavier in their condition in relationship to the two or three that placed right above them in class. But very good market lambs that made 135 pounds for these young people during the summer. Congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations to Alyssa Lindo with a first blue, Kennedy Laufenberg with a second blue, Aiden Stetzer with a first red, Jordan Olson with a second red, Julia Brown with a first white, Gage Castle with a second white, and Brett Lloyd with a first pink. Now entering the arena will be our heavyweight A lambs. These lambs are range from 140 pounds to 146. There are 5 exhibitors. 5.
we start to get to some market lambs that are 140, 45 pounds. And in this particular class, when this young man gets this one propped up, this is kind of what you're looking for in a silhouette, as far as I'm concerned. Really super, super tall fronted, really extended through that front third. You get your hand on this lamb, he has plenty enough width and dimension and power. And then what sets this one apart from the one in second also is just on the move. When this young man gets this one floating around the ring, this thing is striding out, structurally correct in my estimation as you're going to put them together. I just think a combination sheep that kind of overwhelms the class in that estimation. The young lady in second's got a powerful lamb. Powerful lamb. Where did it get beat? She's a little bit bigger in her chest floor. She's not quite as free and easy on her rear too, in my estimation, as the one ahead of it. Okay, she's not quite as tall front and as extended as the one that beats it in class, but just a ripped up power sheep as far as width and dimension down his top and in through his hip. Totally different type of sheep. Pick them how you want them. I like the one that wins the class quite a bit, to be quite honest with you. Young lady in third, so your lamb in some other classes today wins the class. I just think that those two there kind of excelled in some areas where yours is kind of lacked. Little shorter bodied, little shorter in his head and neck, I guess, if you will. And then when you get to the lower third of its hind leg, it just needs more width and expression in my estimation. Big top, though. Big top. Congratulations. Then the other two here that round out this particular class just need more muscle, just more width and dimension down their top and into their hip in comparison to the contemporaries right above them. Congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations to Riley Laufenberg with a first blue, Jordan Olson with a second blue, Morgan Lindo with a first red, Brenna Thorson with a second red, and Josie Wood with a first white. Now entering the arena will be our heavyweight B class. These lambs range from 148 pounds to 164. There are 5 exhibitors.
This is class 7.
Yep, this is the last one.
Last class.
condition over her rib and the lower third of her body. I thought she excelled the class quite easily in my estimation in this heavyweight class. Congratulations. Then we started getting some nitpicking things. Young lady, I thought that she was second because she had the second most amount of muscle. You get your hands on this one's top and loin, and she's expressive. She's just a little softer handling in my estimation, not quite as expressive in that lower third of her hip and hind leg than the one that I elected to win the class with. Young lady's got a really big frame, long bodied, kind of elegant looking sheep. She just needs more muscle at this heavy weight to rival the two right ahead of her. Really growthy ewe lamb here next, okay? She's just carrying too much condition, similar to the one that ends up this class. You start handling them over their rib, they got just a little bit too much grease for my estimation as a market lamb. But congratulations to all these young exhibitors. Yeah, say light, heavy, and then second place is light, heavy. Can you do that, or you're not going to bring the second?
We'll bring in the second. Do you want the first on the side so the crowd
No, right here. First,
and then second?
and then seconds.
Perfect.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Morgan Lindo with a first blue, Brenna Thorson with a second blue, Emma Campen with a first red, Julia Berg with a second red, and Sadie Brown with the first white. We will now be selecting our Grand and Reserve Market Lamb. From lightweight B, we need Morgan Lindo and Alyssa Lindo. Medium weight A, we need Taylor Laufenberg, Chase Campen. Medium weight B, Jay Stetzer, Clayton Castle. Holy smoke. Medium weight C, we need Alyssa Lindo, Kennedy Laufenberg. Heavyweight A, Riley Laufenberg, Jordan Olson. And heavyweight B, Morgan Lindo, Brenna Thorson. May I please take this sheet really quickly?
Do you want to wait till we're done with this part?
Eventually, but
That's okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. One more time.
I would like to take this time to thank our sponsors for our Market Lamb banners. The Grand Champion Market Lamb banner was sponsored by Cooley Region Showdown. The Reserve Champion Market Lamb banner was sponsored by German Hill Equipment. Third overall lamb was sponsored by Plum Hill Farm. Fourth overall Market Lamb banner was sponsored by Terry and Paula Hagen. And fifth overall Market Lamb banner was sponsored by Casper Farms. We're going to do top 5 first. Known. If you have a bred and owned lamb and would like to participate, please bring it ringside.
Well, let's give these kids a big round of applause. Again, I think at most county fairs, when you get to the market classes, I mean, we breed livestock, and my kids have showed breeding stock. So, I mean, I know what it's like to show ewes and gilts and heifers and things like that. But typically at a county fair, the highlight is the meat animal sale and the market animal division. And that's what we have here. And there's been a lot of hard work, time, money, sweat, tears, arguments, everything, all the above. And, I was fortunate enough to experience all that with my two daughters. They're now 19 and 21 now. And so we've kind of outgrown some of these things. But I sure enjoy working with young people. Being an ag teacher for 35 years, it brings me back to the classroom when I come out and sort a fair for you. Enough said on that, but we have our class winners out here. And I have to select a Grand and Reserve champion. I think it comes down to 3 sheep in my estimation. And there's, if you're following along tonight, there's a couple that, again, I don't have a very good poker face. And there's one in particular, just kind of my kind. And then I think I had a decision to make between Grand and Reserve. But I'll go out and select my champion. I really like this one for a lot of reasons.
Congratulations to Riley Laufenberg exhibiting this year's Grand Champion Market Lamb. Riley and Lloyd.
I think it comes down to the young lady with the natural color that was second in that class, and between the young lady right in front of her for my reserve champion. And there's some give and take there. But, I'll be the first to admit, young lady, I wish yours was a little more, just dazzled. We're at a show today as far as maybe the clip job goes and stuff. But I'm here to pick what I think are the best market lambs. In my estimation, when you get your hands on this one, you're the second best. Congratulations, you're reserve champion.
Congratulations to Alyssa Lindo on exhibiting your Reserve Grand Champion Market Lamb.
Does he know he picks 5? I was wondering, are we doing top 5? Yeah. Yeah. Don't let the kids see.
Congratulations to Jordan Olson being our 3rd overall market lamb. Congrats to Taylor Laufenberg on our 4th overall lamb. Wait, who was number? Okay.
We decided that in the class.
Okay, so
Oh, you did right there. 2 and 25.
so who was our Grand and Reserve for Bred and Owned?
So your reserve brand was champion bred and owned, and your 4th overall, Taylor Laufenberg, was reserve bred.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't do it.
Good, how are you?
I didn't. I was like, I know this guy somehow. I know that voice.
Yeah, how you been?
Voice. Good. How about you?
Very good,
Yeah.
very good.
And then what about
Congratulations.
Because Taylor was number 3, or she was a reserve.
Morgan, bred and owned have to go back out.
They already selected
he
them.
chose Morgan because Morgan placed ahead of him.
No, he chose Alyssa as
Yeah,
Arian,
but then he said.
but then Taylor was 4th overall.
Yeah, no, Sarah. Did he choose? Who was reserve bred and owned?
Taylor.
Taylor. Oh, sorry.
Oh, listen, okay, I need their pictures.
Are we spraying down the arena
Yeah,
again?
spraying down the arena. And then bathroom break, and then bathroom break, spraying down the arena.
So 15 minutes.
Yep. And then showmanship.
We will begin showmanship in 15 minutes. We will be starting with our senior showman.
It is nice out.
You'll be the hopeless in beers? Really? Oh, I thought it was you that posted that. I'm like, really?
Oh, I hate this.
What did they say? Oh, I thought it was a video. It was like, what? I wonder if we can spray on this water. Dan, could you do a little bit in here? Oh, Natalie, that's what I was going to just ask.
Pretty nice.
I want back to lambs. To be honest, I would just soak him. It's gonna dry.
Oh my god, what are we like Facebook stalking?
Read this?
Who's this from?
That's Tillman, though. I don't know who that is. Isn't he crazy?
No, he has
Senior. Oh, no, I got finger from. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. 10 for Graham. Before the, oh, he's just shaking.
Look at how tiny. I like it. I was like, this one we're talking about too, the top of that. How old is he? When you were like, if you look straight ahead, I was like,
I guess it was a little over.
Over there, he was going chill. He's like, there's people over here. It was like, there's not a whole bunch of sheep over there. I'll run over there really quick.
oh my god, party hardy.
That part is before the shows, these tables are like spotless.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't ignore what you said to me about the ribbon.
Oh, I said I got it.
Band dries it out so quick.
I think you might as well just have standing water out there right now.
Maybe that's what I should do tonight.
for
like
tomorrow.
that. And
Because
do it again in the morning.
tomorrow it's gonna dry by. Because yeah, otherwise it's gonna be iffy. Doesn't help that all these hoodlums over there kicking up dirt. Yeah,
They do have Andrea to help tomorrow.
Andrea. Oh, okay.
I always like asking her. She used to
Yeah.
always do it. And
Who
she's
is?
involved.
Andrea Hansen. She's the old coordinator of the place. Oh. She was mine.
It's like the one time I even went off when I asked her. She said,
Now for pigs, are we doing top 5 guilds, top 5 barrels?
I need to check. I thought it was top 5 for everything, but
You want the rest of this?
No, you're serious with that hose. I mean, it's coming out of there like a stream. Yeah, we had to knock some dust down. I was getting kind of bad.
yeah, our hands are nice, but it just dries it so quick. I didn't think of it when we started. Like maybe it was just over an hour before. It's like 120.
Yeah,
If you do it earlier, then maybe it'll go well.
right. Because this stuff here, you get it too wet and it like cakes.
Yep.
You have a pound of mud on your feet. And
Yeah.
then... How many showmanship classes do we have?
3. So it goes.
So 3 monster classes.
So seniors there's 10.
10?
So 10.
We're not breaking that then.
No. 8 and 10.
Oh, so you don't have to go in showmanship here?
You have to. If you want to make sale. Yep.
It seemed like there was more exhibitors than 28.
Well, a lot of them bring lots of animals.
Yeah.
So yeah, 28.
So 8, 10, and 10. Or 10,
Yep.
8, and 10 or something.
10, 8, 10. And I mean, you don't have, if you are only taking breeding stock, you don't have to do showmanship.
Oh,
But you have to do showmanship to be eligible for
for
sale.
sale. And then
Yeah.
when am I supposed to select this sale order?
After
So you have the top 5 already. We should have done it while they were all out there so I could just kept going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got the top 5 already.
Yeah. And
You-
those
now
ones,
you're looking for
I think
6 through
they
23.
are all different exhibitors.
yes.
Because,
Yeah,
like, with doing top 5, you could have had
to
an
the same exhibitor
multiple,
twice. Yeah,
And if somebody would have been, like, grand and third, then
Yeah.
the third would drop out.
yeah. But they were all different.
How you did it, I think.
They're all different. So you got 5 already.
So then we'll just, it'll be broken down by weight class. You'll go boom, 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 and they'll be in one line, your next weight class, and so on.
So when we're done with showmanship, you're going to have class 1 is the eligibles. You're going to have class 2, and everybody that's still not selected is going to be in a row. That was 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Then class 3, then class 4, and I'm just going to go through them and pick the 23.
Usually what we do is the first place is on the fence. And
Yeah.
there's a little gap.
Yeah.
So you have the
So you-
best of the class at the time.
Sure,
and then
sure.
you can pull from whichever one,
Yeah.
and then you slide up.
Yeah.
Next.
It works pretty slick. So
Yeah.
how many
Let's give these kids a big round of applause for senior showmanship. You know, I placed these young people right here, and when I brought them in, I kind of told them privately what I thought they could work on to make them better in relationship to the top 2-3 individuals up here. And so we've already had that conversation. Also, if you've been watching, I try to communicate with each individual. My daughters hate it because they say that showmanship is how you show the animal. And when I ask questions, I'm turning it into a quiz bowl contest. And that's not what I'm doing. Sometimes I love to ask questions because it's a learning experience. We're here to learn tonight, right? And I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I'm not trying to put anybody on a spot. But I guarantee you, when your son or daughter goes back out of this ring right now, what's the first thing you're going to ask them? What did he ask you? And what's the second thing you're going to ask them? What did you say? Right? And if they're wrong, you're going to have a conversation as a family, and you're going to learn something. Okay? So some of those questions, and when I got down to these three, I got a little more intense. I was asking them a feed efficiency question, how many pounds of feed it takes for their market lamb to gain 1 pound. 2 of them didn't know it. Again, I'm not putting anybody on the spot. I'm not. Okay? If they had a ewe lamb, I asked their gestation length. Okay? I asked the percent protein in their diet for their market lamb. I mean, those are the type of questions I'm asking. Some of the questions down here, I was asking if they had a wether or a ewe. What was a wether? Okay? And so those are the things I'm looking for. I didn't base my decision solely on who answered the question or didn't answer the question correctly, but I think it's part of this whole deal of 4-H and FFA and the county fair that there's learning to be done all the way through, and so that's my thought process. I got down to these three, and honestly, I'm nitpicking between the three, but there's one that I thought, I can go. What decided for me? The young lady right here is going to be third, and when we went through our little pass here at the end, okay, and we had to kind of grab back and grab them to go. Okay, I thought that was kind of broke you apart from the other three. I mean, I love some of you guys when she goes down on a sheep like this. That's what we called it when my kid showed. I love when she does that. Like, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Sheep just don't stand there unless you put some time and effort in with them. And so, you know, my daughters at home on their mirrors, they have a saying, both of them, it says, and the saying's been there since they've been a little kid. It says, life rewards effort. Like, if you just butt your butt every day, good things are going to come. Some days are going to suck, but just bust your butt. And that's what I'm saying right there. I can tell you've put some time and effort into it, but I had to make some deciding factors. The one question you were a little off on comparison to my other person, but you're doing a great job. Then it comes down to my young lady with the natural and my young lady back on the back side here. My young lady with the natural, it's her first year showing sheep. That's pretty dang good. It's pretty dang good to come out here and be in the top 3 in senior showman when you never showed one before, or your first year in the project. She didn't know the gestation of a sheep. Again, I am not trying to put her on the spot. I'm not trying to say she doesn't know anything. She goes, I'm a cattle girl. I said, good. Tell me what the gestation of a beef heifer is then. She knew that. Right? I mean, that's how we learn. I guarantee if I come back next year and I ask her the same question, do you think she's going to get it wrong? No. Okay? There are times when she gets out of position in comparison to my young lady back here. So my young lady with the natural is going to be second. My young lady here is she just did a great job all day of showing this sheep. Again, she's got him propped up. He doesn't move. I just thought she did an excellent job. And when I asked her the question on feed efficiency, she corrected me the way I asked the question. She's like, the way you asked that question, can you ask it again? And she got it right. And that's what it's all about. Like, don't just sit there because I'm some big, fat, 58-year-old guy that you're, oh my God, I'm not going to question him. Ask the question. And I really appreciate that about her, that she was willing to do that and figure it out with me. And so she's your senior showman champion today. Congratulations to all of you. Congratulations. 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 Good job, ladies.
Congratulations to Morgan Lindau on being your champion senior showman. Her belt buckle was sponsored by the Jackson County Junior Livestock Sale Committee. Congratulations to Macy Casper on a second blue, Alyssa Lindo on a first red, Amara Streff on a second red, Julia Brown on a third red, Jay Stetzer on a first white, Morgan Berg on a second white, Brenna Thorson on a first pink, Piper Nelson on a second pink, and Brett Lloyd on a third pink. Now entering the arena will be our intermediate showmen. These showmen range from ages 12 to 14.
How many?
8.
8. Here we go.
Well, let's give these kids a big round of applause for the intermediate showman. You know, earlier today I was talking about when a lamb won his class, I said this was an easy winner. And I said, you know, throughout the day, when I say that, I'm not trying to discredit the kids in second or third or anything like that. I'm just trying to recognize the person that won that class and did an unbelievable job with that. And that being said, in this particular showmanship division, there's an easy winner. And this young lady excelled in so many areas. Throughout the day, I kept saying, use the ring, use the ring. Get on the rail, use the ring, okay? And there's one person that really listened to me. And that's this young lady that's gonna win showmanship. She uses the ring, she's polite. One time when we were on the far side over here, the lamb ahead of her wasn't going, and she waited, and she waited, and she waited, and then she had to make the decision like, I have to go. But she wanted that person to keep, she knows, she's just so ring savvy, it's crazy is what I'm trying to get at. And that's the young lady in the middle. You're gonna be your champion showman, congratulations. The other two young people, again, there's things, they're both a little bit slower at the go, okay, and that's okay. They're calm and cool and collect. There's differences between them. Both of them struggled in a question or two, but I thought, you know, that was probably my hardest decision of the day, is maybe splitting those two in showmanship. The young lady is gonna be your reserve. The young man's gonna be your third overall. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Taylor Laufenberg being your grand champion intermediate showman. Her belt buckle was sponsored by the Jackson County Junior Livestock Sale Committee. Congratulations to Emma Campen on a second blue, Riley Laufenberg on a first red, Chase Campen on a second red, Aiden Stetzer with a first white, Julia Berg with a second white, Aubrey Forstein with a first pink, and Clayton Castle with a second pink. Now entering the ring is our beginner showman. These showmen ages range from 8 to 11.
Well, if you're following with me so far tonight, I've done this division a little different. I'm going to make a general observation of the 6 young people on the back row in this particular division. And I'm not going to place you 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Obviously, there's a little more or lack of experience in this division. Okay, just the way we handle that sheep on its head, how we can get that animal to walk around the ring with us. Also, then we want to get those animals square and set up. And obviously, when I look back, sometimes sheep are got one leg's front, one's back, those type of things. Just general things when we're handling the sheep. We just don't, the term we use with our kids, we just don't want to be so heavy on the head. We don't want to hug that head. We don't want to both hands, scared to death to lose it type of attitude. If we can get easier with that and a little lighter on the head, things make it easier for the sheep, and I think you work better together. And again, your guys are very young, but all that comes to work at home. So those are some things to work on for you 6 young people. I've elected to sort off these 4 young people as our top showmen in this division, and there's some give and take here again. But I think there's one individual, in my estimation, that did the best job. She did the best job of answering your questions. She did the best job of always having her animal set up and square, and she is one intense individual. Young lady in green is going to be your champion. Congratulations. Then it got a little tighter for me between second and third. I think all 3 of these young ladies that are still left out here did some really good things at times. And we had some nice conversations. Young lady with the natural is going to be second. Young lady in the front is going to be third. And the young lady right there is going to be fourth. Congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations to Sadie Brown on her Grand Champion Beginner's Showman. Her belt buckle was sponsored by the Jackson County Junior Livestock Sale Committee. Congratulations to Jordan Olson on a second blue, Kennedy Laufenberg on a first red, Annette Streff on a second red, and Gage Castle, Josie Wood, Nora Bush, Lyric Rosvold, Ella Rosvold, and Louis Burnett on whites. Please bring your lambs to the ring for sale selection.
Selection. So we are going lightweight lambs on the far side of the ring, heavyweight lambs on the side near the entrance. Anybody with market eligible market lambs should be bringing them up to the ring.